intellectual level. Okay? Now in school, intellectual level measures, and it's a representation of a student's level on a developmental scale of reading, their ability to read. In other words, for example, if a book says 500 to 599 on the score basic, that means that the book meets requirements for fifth grade level reading. Okay? So reading is what's called a common core subject, meaning it's a requirement like math, writing, science, things like that. Students are required to read a certain number of books each quarter. These books are usually selected by the district. Okay? So now recently, there's been a growing movement across the country to offer inclusive or diverse instruction to all the students. And let's face it, all students, regardless of race, can and will benefit from effective authors speaking from a culturally diverse perspective. This means that schools should be seeking out books and courses that are authored by people of color. Now, ironically, I was not able to find a single African American author who publishes course material. Yet, if you review the Scholastic and Wikipedia websites, you know that there are hundreds, I'm talking about hundreds of African American authors, but none are listed as authoring a single course or curriculum. So, is there any reason a significant number of students of color are feeling disconnected in their education? I mean, what do you think, Capone?
I mean,
You know,
now that you brought it to me,
at,
now that you brought it to my attention, I'm kind of tripping out. I mean, I never would have thought about that or even considered the value of that till we started talking about it a while ago. Now that you're coming at me with these kind of statistics and what you've done, I'm surprised.
well, it's just like with so much inclusion, we're trying to sit up there and get the kids involved. They don't want to learn what's being available. But now, if you take a book like Monster, you checked out Monster, haven't you?
Yep, I read Monster.
Okay.
Monster
Now,
Cody.
exactly. Now, during the 1990s, when I ran that alternative school down there on Hilltop, on any given school day, you'd find dozens of kids out there, school-age kids, just roaming the street. So I started welcoming them over to the house and asked them what kind of stuff they were interested in reading. Guess what happened?
What?
On any given day, you'd find a number of kids reading books like Monster or Malcolm X Speaks or something by Maya Angelou. I didn't have to force them. I didn't have to put them on restriction, ISS, or nothing. These were the same kids who refused to go to school. So I can honestly say that the author and the content play an important role in whether students of color are willing to engage in their academics. Okay? So I'm not saying that there aren't any books or courses of African American authors currently in use in any school district. I would, although, challenge our audience to find two published courses that were written by African American authors currently in use by any public school district. If you think more African American authors will help kids out, then we need to start talking to the school districts.
Right
You know what
on.
I mean?
Right on. So let's challenge. Let's challenge everybody that's listening to this podcast right now. Let's challenge everybody that's checking out our vlog. Let's challenge everybody to go ahead and do that, Normski. What steps do they need to take to go ahead and do that?
Well, one thing, we've listed the Lexdown address, Scholastic address, and the Wikipedia address.
That's going to be on getdnews.blogspot.com and also in the link description on our YouTube channel.
Exactly. Another thing is just basically ask the kids, what do you want to learn about? You know, if we got to learn about math, okay, from the perspective culturally, perhaps it may be a little bit more beneficial for some of these young people of color to have representation in the authorship and the writing of this material. Because they're going to feel a little bit more part of things. Because that's what we're asking for, spending billions of dollars in the government and school systems right now to be inclusive and be diverse in our culture. But then we don't want to add diversity in the curriculum or the course material or even the reading material.
Exactly.
There's something wrong with that picture.
Good
That's all I
point.
got on that, bro.
Right on, man. As always, Norm, you bringing it. These are important issues. We laugh, we have fun, we're covering current topics. What's viral? What's going on in the world?